Do I have your attention now? Do I have it? Good. I thought so.
That was footage from Ben Armstrong, better known as BitBoy, from a video that he posted just a couple days ago. And yesterday, he posted a video of him on his YouTube channel talking about how he was recently just released from an inpatient psychiatric unit. This is a video that I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to make. And I originally decided that I was not going to make this video. But after Ben Armstrong posted this video yesterday, I came to the conclusion that he's openly talking about this. And I thought that I was in a unique position to speak about this because I actually am a resident physician specializing in psychiatry. I treat patients like this regularly. So the goal of this video is not to give, I'm a doctor, but I'm not Ben Armstrong's doctor. And the goal of this video is to really just kind of give my opinion and more so a reaction to this. And the goal is to actually shed some light on mental health and things that Ben Armstrong's going through, just so that folks can kind of maybe understand where he's coming from. I am a doctor. That's actually my medical degree from medical school right here. So again, I thought I was kind of in a unique position to talk about this a little bit. So that's the goal of this video. I'm not trying to, create drama or anything like that. I'm really trying to use this more as like a teaching, an opportunity to maybe just teach folks kind of what he's going on. So this is a tweet that Ben posted yesterday, I believe, and he says, "The psych ward locked me in. I got jumped in my sleep, made it out anyway. Some people break, some don't. Full story incoming." And this full in story coming was this video here. We're not going to watch the whole video. It's a 23-minute video. But in the video, Ben states that he suffers from a couple mental health issues, one of which is histrionic personality disorder. So I'll just kind of give my take on histrionic personality disorder and if I think this diagnosis is accurate. Again, my goal is to not treat Ben Armstrong or to diagnose him. I'm not his doctor. I'm just kind of giving you my take as a resident physician specializing in psychiatry. So the reason that I really wanted to show this here is the take home is that, histrionic personality disorder, it's a mental health condition characterized by a pervasive pattern and excessive emotionality and attention-seeking behavior. And the reason that I wanted to show this is pervasive. This is something that lasts through someone's entire life, and it's usually caused by a trauma or traumatic event early in childhood. So some of the symptoms, and he actually talks about this in his video and how he kind of quote unquote checks the boxes for a lot of these symptoms. Intense mood swings or unstable emotions. And he states this, I did pull up this video. This is of when he got arrested in 2023. And these are some of these. So histrionic personality disorder, it's these intense mood swings. They're unstable emotions. Sometimes they say lack of emotional depth, easily influenced, need for validation, this emotional instability and attention seeking. And typically when they teach us this in medical school, sometimes they'll give the example of like a celebrity who's attention seeking, right? They always want to be in the limelight. And I do think, again, I don't know Ben Armstrong. I do not know his past medical history. I don't know his past psychiatric history, right? I'm really just a bystander, or, I'm learning a lot about this just like you guys are. But based off what he says, he seems to fit the criteria from this, and just the small, view that we have into his life, it does seem that he does have these really intense mood swings. He is very attention seeking in some ways, right? You'll see that he's driving flashy cars. He often posts these on social media, tends to kind of have these random mood swings. There's been numerous videos posted of him in the past where he'll kind of go off on the hinge, and then, the next minute he'll be kind of quote unquote back to normal. So this is one thing that he said that he's struggling with. The other thing that he said he's struggling with is bipolar mania. And I do just want to shed a little bit of light on this because I do think this is a common misconception. So there's actually a couple different flavors of bipolar, right? But bipolar is typically when folks, there's usually a depressive or a mood component, right? And for him, it's like a depressive component. So there'll be times of the year where he feels very down or low, like low mood, might have like feelings of guilt or worthlessness, might not partake in hobbies that he normally does. So he'll feel like that for part of the year. And then other parts of the year, he might have these symptoms of mania, right? And we think of mania, we think of decreased need for sleep, increased irritability. Folks might say they talk really fast, increased rate of speech, these grandiose thoughts, right? And part of that is kind of these feelings of euphoria. We talked about the decreased need for sleep. Sometimes that's described as like increased energy levels. I don't want to go into detail, but I think, Benjamin Armstrong, he talks about kind of his personal life with his partners. So, some folks report higher sex drives. We talked about the noticeably talking more. Often, if you're talking to someone who's in a state of mania or having manic-like symptoms, it's actually really tough to have a conversation with them because they're talking like 100 miles a minute. It's tough to get a word in because they'll interrupt you. And then I think this one down here in the middle, this very much checks the box for BitBoy, is engaging in these risky behaviors or self-harm, excessive spending. I don't want to go too much into BitBoy's personal life because that's really not the goal of this video. But it's well documented by himself, his relationship with Cassidy and his family. So it kind of checks out, right? And I honestly, I kind of feel for him, when I first was, watching crypto YouTube, I kind of thought this guy was in some ways like, I don't even want to use the word unhinged, but like kind of unhinged, right? But now that I've learned a little bit more about kind of what he's suffering or going through, I actually really do feel for him, and I hope he does get the help that he needs. I guess the other thing, just for completeness, I do kind of feel obligated to talk about it. And the goal of this is to not give you, my opinions. I'm just trying to be as objective as possible. There was some concern that he was using substances again, and he addresses in that video. He said that he went to rehab. I think it was 2007 or 2008. And gosh, I can't remember if he said methamphetamine or cocaine or Adderall, but some type of stimulant. He says he hasn't used any stimulants for quite some time. I think he said several years. The one thing that he did say that he uses regularly is cannabis or marijuana. And again, I'm really not taking an opinion on cannabis or marijuana, but what the research shows is that although marijuana may be helpful in the short term, BitBoy specifically says that he uses it for sleep. The research shows that people who use it chronically for extended periods of time, it actually can lead to increased anxiety. And especially if you have an underlying pathology in place, like bipolar mania, like histrionic personality disorder, substances can sometimes influence these things for the worse. So, BitBoy's probably not going to watch this video. If he does, I genuinely am rooting for you, and I hope you're getting the help that you need because I think you genuinely are a good person and you mean well. But I think you kind of just got to work through these things that you're going through right now. So I guess I would kind of caution him. I don't know if the cannabis is contributing to some of these symptoms, but I would suspect that it probably is. So the goal of this video was to not, point the finger, be dramatic. I just kind of wanted to give you my take on it because I felt like I was kind of in a unique position. I actually treat folks. I just got off work. I worked graveyard last night. It's like 8 a.m. I figured I'd film this video before I go to bed. But I figured I was kind of in a unique position to maybe kind of give my 2 cents on it. And ultimately, shed some awareness about this, right? So hopefully people made it to the end of the video and they can actually hear me say that. My goal really is to kind of increase awareness, what he's going through, and maybe we can just try to find a way to be supportive for him. And maybe that's just by giving him his privacy, right? It sounds like and again, he mentions this in the video, but he has a pretty good support staff in place, our support system with his family. So I think what we need to do is respect his privacy and really just try to be supportive in any way that we can. again. So this was a little bit of a different video, but I wanted to make it nonetheless. If you guys got any value out of this, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications to get more content like this pushed to you in the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys on my next video.